This psychological truth will transform how you view every relationship in your life. By the end, you'll understand why those closest to you might suddenly turn away. Carl Jung uncovered a profound insight into human nature, revealing why your personal growth can feel threatening to others, exposing their own unacknowledged shadows. Jung taught that most people will do anything to avoid facing their inner shadow, the parts of themselves they refuse to see. As you heal and grow, you become a living mirror, forcing those around you to confront what they've buried. But here's what Jung observed that will surprise you about why your transformation unsettles them so deeply. When you break free from the roles others expect of you, you trigger what Jung called projection. They cast their unhealed wounds, stagnation, and fear of change onto you. You're not rejected for who you're becoming, but because they cannot yet become that themselves, a truth that stings their unresolved inner conflicts. Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves, but most aren't ready for such deep self-awareness. Instead of looking inward, they lash out at you." Here's Jung's insight that will clarify every relationship. We all carry a shadow. The traits, emotions, and qualities we've denied or suppressed. As you set boundaries, stop people-pleasing, and refuse to shrink yourself, you integrate your shadow, becoming whole. But for those still fleeing their own darkness, your wholeness is unbearable. Jung saw that we often resent in others what we haven't accepted in ourselves, a mirror to our own inner struggles. Your confidence highlights their insecurities. Your boundaries expose their inability to say no. Your inner peace reveals their chaos. But wait until you hear Jung's explanation for why family and close friends are often the first to resist your growth. A pattern rooted in the collective unconscious. Jung described a process called individuation, the journey to become your true self, distinct from others' expectations and projections. He said this is essential for mental health, yet it deeply threatens those around you, as it challenges the personas they cling to for stability. Your individuation forces others to face their lack of a true self. When you stop being who they need you to be and start being you, their carefully constructed illusions crumble. They don't hate you, they hate the truth your authentic existence reveals about their own unlived potential. Here's Jung's revolutionary discovery about why entire groups might turn against you. He spoke of the collective unconscious shared behavioral patterns and beliefs that keep society functioning. These demand conformity, keeping people in assigned roles to maintain the status quo. When you break free from these collective patterns, reject generational trauma, or refuse toxic family dynamics, you don't just change yourself, you threaten the entire system. Jung observed that the collective unconscious rallies to pull outliers back in line, explaining why it feels like the world turns against you all at once. Jung called these masks, we wear the persona, crafted to navigate society's demands. But most people mistake their persona for their true self, clinging to it tightly. When you shed your persona and live authentically, it feels like a betrayal to them, a death of the role they needed you to play. Jung taught that fully embracing your true self is the most terrifying act of all. Others, unready to face that truth, blame you for stirring their fears. Here's Jung's insight into why your growth unsettles others. We all carry both masculine and feminine psychological traits, known as anima and animus. Society often forces us to suppress one side of our nature. When you integrate both, blending compassion with strength, nurturing with resolve, you become a threat to those still fragmented. Your wholeness exposes their inner division, and Jung noted they'll attack the qualities in you they've rejected in themselves. But here's where Jung's concept of the transcendent function explains why you're seen as dangerous. True psychological growth comes from holding opposing forces in tension, love, and boundaries. Empathy and detachment until a new awareness emerges. Your ability to balance these makes you unpredictable to those trapped in rigid thinking. This transcendent awareness terrifies others because you no longer follow their unconscious scripts. You've outgrown the binary thinking that keeps most people stuck, and that psychological freedom feels threatening to those still bound by duality, unable to embrace their own complexity. Here's how Jung reframes every rejection you've faced. He believed the greatest privilege in life is becoming your true self. But it comes at a cost. Losing those tied only to your false persona. Those who turn away aren't reacting to who you are now, but to the truth of who they're not yet ready to become. Your journey of healing and self-discovery forces others to confront their own stagnation. Instead of using it as a spark for growth, they attack you to avoid their pain. Jung saw individuation becoming your true self, not just as a personal quest, but as a profound spiritual and psychological mission. The hostility you face isn't proof you're on the wrong path. It's confirmation you're on the only path that matters, the one leading back to your true self. Jung said, your task isn't to chase love, but to dismantle the inner barriers you've built against it. Barriers you're now courageously tearing down. You've begun to integrate your shadow, rising above others' negative projections. According to Jung, this is why they struggle to accept you. The real question isn't why they resent you, it's whether you're strong enough to keep growing despite their resistance, embracing the fullness of who you are. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If this exploration of Jung's wisdom resonates with you, please subscribe and share this video with others who might find value in uncovering their own path to self-knowledge and resilience.